Kristen, you back there? Really good to see all of you here. And tonight we do have a rare opportunity to hear about mission work in Africa from a person who's actually doing it. So I'm so excited. I got to spend the afternoon driving around and visiting with our speaker, and she's a truly just warm and wonderful person, and I'm just so happy that she's here with us tonight. I know you'll be touched by the stories that you hear, and you'll have an opportunity after the program to support this work. Those of you in UWF, this is where some of your mission giving goes. And so listen and know what's happening and know how you're helping the whole world. Right now we're going to begin with prayer, and Barbara will begin the prayer.
Please pray with me. Let's open in prayer, please. Lord, we welcome Elmira tonight as she shares with us her missionary travels international. Elma has had experiences none of us can imagine, and yet she has a willingness to share her life experiences that we cannot begin to imagine in our lifetime. Give us ears to hear, quiet to learn, and discover how our mission projects empower women. We thank you, Elmira, for sharing with us your many travels. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. So I'm happy to have with us tonight Elmira Sellu. She's from the country of Sierra Leone, but has basically been all over serving women, youth, and children in the continent of Africa. She's currently back in her home, although she lived for years in East Africa and Kenya doing work there too. She has a wonderful message to share with us, and she's ready to go.
Good evening, my dear brothers and sisters. I am really excited to be with you here this evening. I am Elmira Sellu, a United Women in Faith regional missionary. I bring you warm greetings from my home country, where I am now based, as she just said, Sierra Leone. And I work in East and West Africa. In East Africa, I work in 5 countries, and in West Africa, about 8 countries. Let me first of all thank you for those birthday cards that you sent to us missionaries. Those best wishes cards, those special occasion cards, you really make us feel very special. I'm sure some of you here have been sending those cards to us. Thank you very much. Let me share some of the work I do with you. Leadership development has been the focus of my ministry. I have been empowering our women to be good leaders in church and society. Women in Africa have for far too long been relegated to the background. They must be seen and not heard. Let me tell you what happened some time ago. I was with my late bishop in East Africa. We were all seated together, and I was the only woman in the group. And then the bishop turned to me and said, "Can you go behind and meet the other women, go and help them walk?" I said, "Come on, Bishop. What are you saying?" "Oh, just join the other women." I said, "No. With all due respect, Bishop, the other women are going to join us here. Together at the table, we can make a difference, the men and the women together." It's because of culture, what culture does to people. I have therefore been facilitating several leadership training workshops and seminars, and I have addressed critical issues the women are faced with. Some progress have been made, and some of the women I've been working with have emerged as excellent leaders Let me give you an example. I was working with a lady about 35 years of age in one of the districts. She's Keziah by name. I worked with her so well that when she went to work in the Council of Churches, CCSL, the Council of Churches in Sierra Leone, she emerged as a very good leader, and consequently, she was elected the Secretary General of the Council of Churches in Sierra Leone for the whole country. To God be the glory. And she is the youngest so far. Keziah is a recipient of a scholarship from the United Methodist Women, now United Women in Faith. Many thanks to you for that. Another example is Rose Musoko. She is the former president of the United Methodist Women in Uganda. She had this to say during one of my trainings, and I quote, "I thank God for United Methodist Women who have sponsored these workshops and have helped me rediscover myself and have given me a new perspective to work. Over the years, I have experienced growth in my leadership skills as well as my professional development. From having a diploma in building and civil engineering, I am now pursuing a master's degree in engineering. Many thanks to the mentorship and inspiration I got from these trainings." End of quote. Rose is not only one of the very few female architects in Uganda, but she's also the principal of a technical institute and the General Secretary of the Council of Principals in Uganda. When I first met Rose, she was very timid. She could hardly talk. She was so shy. But now, Rose possesses the power of bold. She traverses the length and breadth of Uganda, advocating for women's rights. She is making a difference in our society. And again, we say many thanks to the United Women in Faith for empowering us to empower others. A new model of leadership was introduced to the women during the last couple of years, and this is called Training for Transformation. This model, amongst other things, teaches what is known as personal mastery. This model teaches you to discover who you are and what you can be able to bring to the table. And it teaches us how to do community needs assessment. Sierra Leone was chosen as one of the pilot countries to test this new model. The Sierra Leone country team is made up of our women leaders and also the young women leaders in our annual conference. We have a journalist among us who is telling our stories. Team members are now so vast in this model that they are now cascading into the different districts in our annual conference. Let me give you an example of what we experienced when we went for field work during a training for transformation session. One of the places we went to was a hairdressing salon. We were divided into groups. I was fortunate to go to this hairdressing salon. But when we went there, tools were down. They were not doing anything. The proprietress was not doing anything. The workers were not doing anything. Why? Because they had no water. And so we engaged them. What do you think? For 1 week you have not worked. For 1 week there has been no income. What do you think is the best way out? Let's think. You are going to think. And so they sat down. They brainstormed among themselves. We are just guiding them. And then they came up with a solution. They themselves came up with a solution. That maybe the best thing for them to do was to get some big containers, hire transport, go to the next village, get some water, and come back and begin to do the work. They themselves were able to come up with their solution. We just tried our level best to guide them. We engaged them to brainstorm, and what they did was just to add a few leons, that's our local currency, to cushion the expenses of transporting the water. We enabled the women to think for themselves, as they have the power within themselves to think and to change their own circumstances. I have also been facilitating Mission U programs. Having attended 4 Mission U programs in the US, I decided to introduce it to the countries I work with in Africa. I am pleased to inform you that I have contextualized this program for Africa and have facilitated several of them in Sierra Leone, in Kenya, Uganda, and in Zambia. These have really touched and changed the lives of many women as we deal with the social issues that are very relevant to their lives. Some of the themes that I've used include together at the table. Another theme, count me in. And very recently, last year, I did the one on turn it up. I know you know that theme, turn it up. That was used in the last Women's Assembly. Economic development also forms part of my ministry. Seed money was given to the women in every district of the Sierra Leone Annual Conference. The women are involved in different economic development projects so that they can become self-sufficient. We want them to live that abundant life that Jesus promised us in John 10:10, when he said, I have come to give life and to give it in abundance. One outstanding project is that of a bakery that was built by the women in the Bo district called the United Women in Faith Bakery. This bakery has given employment to some of the women in the district. They themselves came up with the idea of building a bakery, and it's a success story. They are now serving the needs of the community. Service to others has also been part of my ministry. I have been working closely with a group of women called Operation Hope. This is a group of women living with the HIV virus. And these women, we held several workshops together, and now they are living positively. They are now the ones giving hope to other people in the community. And they have even set up a computer school where they are training other women. And they give the children in the area, the immediate surroundings, school materials, and they help them with their studies in the evening. They are now engaged in income-generating activities for self-sustenance. Members of Operation Hope and I have gone on several Ubuntu trips in Kenya. I'm sure some of you know about Ubuntu. It means I am because you are. You care for me, I care for you. And we've gone on these trips. We have been giving aids to the orphans in the various orphanages, and we have brought the love of Christ to these children. Floria Tieno is the coordinator of this program, and she said this, and I quote, United Methodist Women, through their regional missionary, has taught us how to organize communities, how to implement projects, how to manage resources, and more importantly, how to become good leaders in our communities, end of quote. These women have now taken ownership of their own program. I no longer go to them. They work among themselves and then they report to me. Another ministry I am involved in is the prison ministry. Ministering to incarcerated women and children has also been part of my ministry. We bring the love of Christ to them through Bible studies, counseling, and devotions. Twice a week we visit them. On Mondays we do the counseling and Bible studies, and on Thursdays we do skills training. The volunteers teach them skills like tailoring, soap making, bag making, interior decorations every week. These skills will enable them make a living when they leave the four walls of the prison. I am pleased to inform you that through this ministry, some of the inmates have given their lives to Christ and were baptized right there in prison. Some of these who were released have joined our United Methodist Women's groups. Some Muslims have converted to Christianity. We give God all the glory. All of these would not have been made possible without you, United Women in Faith. My colleague regional missionaries are also itinerating in other parts of the U.S., and I cannot thank you enough. Please relax and let me share with you a short video of about 6 minutes. Is it Justin?
Let me first of all thank our United Women in Faith in the U.S. for empowering our women out here in Africa. I also want to thank our liaisons, Tatiana Dawa and Betty Gittins, for working tirelessly with us over the years. I thank you very much. Leadership development has been the focus of my ministry. I've been empowering our women to be effective leaders in church and society. Leadership development enables the women to think critically and make decisions for themselves. I have been holding several leadership trainings. I have held trainings in my home country, Sierra Leone, in Uganda, Kenya, South Sudan, and so many African countries. And these trainings have been well received. We've held trainings on like women and sustainable development, women and the environment, so many workshops just to empower our women. A new model of leadership has been introduced to the women. This is training for transformation. Training for transformation aims to develop women and empower them with skills to first of all appreciate themselves, that they are wonderfully and beautifully made, as recorded in Psalm 139, verse 14. We say to God be the glory. Now, the first program we do today now, we get for know we self. Who that's now we? You know, people that know they appreciate themselves. We got for appreciate we self. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. Training for transformation aims to develop women and empower them with skills to first of all appreciate themselves, that they are wonderfully and beautifully made, as recorded in Psalm 139, verse 14. This model empowers women with skills to carry out community needs assessment. You would agree with me that you just cannot come into a community without knowing their needs. Maybe your own idea is to come and build a well, but that is not their priority. Members of the Sierra Leone country team have been trained, and we are training others now. It is my hope and prayer that this training that we'll be doing will have multiplying effect, that you can go out and train others. I've also been going on Ubuntu journeys. Ubuntu means I am because you are. I am what I am because of what you are giving to me and what I am giving to you. So we have been giving out to the less fortunate in society, especially in Nairobi, Kenya. We had several orphanages that I have ministered to. We've brought the word of God to the little children, especially to the orphans, and these have gone down well with the members of the community. We visited the Joy Vanley Home, Tumaini Drop-In Center, and Africa Hope. We thank God that we can be able to do that. Economic development is also part of my ministry. Seed money was given to all the districts of our annual conference. And the women have been involved in different projects, like soap making. They come together as a group, they make the soap, divide the soap among themselves, give the women, they go out, sell the soap, and they bring in the capital, and they take care of themselves by using the profit. That has been a success story. They've also been involved in palm oil trade, groundnut farming, rice farming, and vegetable farming. The women are also involved in a revolving loan scheme. The money is given to the women, they use it for whatever they want to do, they come back with the money that was given to them, and they keep the profit for themselves. Animal husbandry is also part of the economic development projects. The women buy the pigs or sheep or other animals like rabbits. They rear them. When these are about to give birth, the offsprings they give to other members of the other districts so that they can be able to rear their own animals. We have several success stories. One important and an outstanding success story is that of the bakery in Bo district. The women were given the same money like they gave the other district. They went out, solicited funds, local income, and they were able to build a bakery all on their own. Now the bakery is a success story. You have, it's serving the needs of the people in the community. And so many women have been employed in the bakery so that they can be able to earn a living. I wish to express once again sincere thanks and gratitude to our United Women in Faith for empowering us, and our liaisons, Betty and Tatiana. Thank you so much for all you have done for us over the years. I thank you.
Once again, I want to thank United Women in Faith. I want to thank you for the plum you give to us. Plum is an acronym, P-L-U-M. Plum, that little fruit. The P is for your prayers, the prayers you say for us. In fact, there is a prayer calendar that some of you have contributed to. The L is for your love, the love you show to us. Like since I came, Sue has shown me love. So many of you have shown me love since I came on Sunday. That is the L. The U is for your understanding of the context in which we work. And the M is for your money that you give to us. Thank you very much. And may God bless us all.
Before you sit down, we'd like to give you this card, which symbolizes the gift and mission given in your honor to the United Women in Faith. And now I'm going to tell how y'all can do that too. Obviously, none of this happens without people being able to eat and without paying for some of the things that happen. So we will give you many opportunities. We have some lovely placed baskets out there if you'd like to contribute to the mission work tonight. We also have some, you know those squiggly QR codes? And Justin just put that up. You can text and do that. You can write checks and you can give it to us at church and we'll send it. You can also put your smartphone on the squiggly code QR thing that we have, that I have lots of copies of. And if you know how to do that, you can QR code this and it will work for you. Might not work for me, but it'll work for you. And so any of those ways will serve and help. If you are a United Women in Faith member, you know how to reach the website and you know how to listen to a thing called Voices from the Field. Excuse me. It's a quarterly presentation of different missionaries in the field talking about what they do and sharing their work. It's free. You can just go on it and do it. If you're not a UWF member and would like that, we have a sign-up sheet out there. They're not going to sign you up for anything else. You won't be getting phone calls about mattresses or blankets or whatever you need to buy from anybody. They'll just sign you up, and you can get the information also on Voices of the Field. So those sign-up sheets are in the center table out there. Just put your name and email on it. They'll get in touch with you. So if you have any questions for Elmira, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them, either here or out with some brief refreshments in the back. Y'all want to just go eat and talk to Elmira out there? Okay, let's do that.